Yo guys, it is Captain Thorpe here and welcome to episode 3 of the Friday Night Debate. This week we have JFG 17 on. If you've not seen his channel, you've been living under a rock for the last few years. Go over there, I'll leave a link in the description. Go over there, hit the subscribe button, watch his videos. If you like my content, you'll love his. And today we will be debating whether VAR should be scrapped from the Premier League. So, John, I'm going to go straight to you. So you think that it should be scrapped? Why is that?
Yeah, I'm going for VAR to be scrapped. To be honest, it's been fine for ages before, and I don't know, just pause it in. I just hate the delays, to be honest with you, in the games. Like, everyone's saying it's disrupting the natural flow, whatever. And I think you can agree with them. Like, I understand if you want to disallow like fair goals or whatever, but I don't know. I think sometimes the things you just got to let the natural flow of things go. Football wasn't like a game should be played naturally, and I think sometimes calls will go your way, sometimes it won't go your way. That's just the way it is. So yeah, it was you, yeah.
Yeah. So you think the delay is a problem, and I do think the delay is a problem, but do you not feel that it's if it means getting the decision right, it's worth having a couple-minute delay?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like completely against VAR. Like VAR used in practice is a great idea. I just think I think it's almost impossible to have VAR in place used properly, because there's always going to be that delay of about 2-3 minutes. Because the decision's tough. Like it's impossible to do it in 10 seconds, which wouldn't disrupt the natural flow of the game. So yeah, I don't think it's possible to have it really. To be honest, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously one of the criticisms of VAR is the bar set too high, and I do agree with that. So obviously they've got the clear and obvious rule involved, and it has to be clear and obvious foul for it to be overturned. So I agree with that, because subjective calls, they can't be overturned. So imagine if you got a 50-50 decision, whether it should be a penalty or not a penalty, and then the ref decides to give a penalty, and the VAR says, "Nah, I don't think we'll give a penalty," and then imagine the fan reaction if that happens. So I think the clear and obvious rule is right. It should be in place. Where do you stand on the clear and obvious rule? Do you think they should get rid of that, or do you think that that's a good rule to have in?
It's tough one, I'm gonna say clear and obvious rule. Yeah, I like the clear and obvious rule. Because VAR's like there's no point saying like get rid of it, because I don't think they are going to get rid of it. So. Yeah. Clear and obvious rule, yeah, sure, but anything more ambiguous than that, I don't think you can, really disallow, really, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, and as you say, like penalties, they're not black and white decisions. I think it should be a clear and obvious, decisions. You have to overturn it. You can't overturn 50-50 decisions. So I think that's right, but the bar is too high. So I think it does need some work. Because when you get decisions that actually do look clear and obvious and they're not overturned, then that's a problem. Obviously that's a problem when they're not overturned. So there's definitely improvements that need to be made, but I don't think that they've got to scrap it to make those decisions. It's just something that'll take time.
Yeah.
For offsides, obviously there's been criticisms where you get, like I think Sterling against West Ham was off by his armpit, or I think was it Son or someone else was off by armpit hairs. Now that's tricky. That I think that's right. I think that they should do that, because offsides are black and white decisions. Where do you stand on calling people offside by armpits?
Yeah. I'm always in favour of like the benefit of the doubt for the attacker. So if they're off by like an inch or whatever, like I don't think you can. I know technically they are offside, which gets a bit dumb, but I just don't think you can do it. Like I don't know, yeah, bit of a sticky one, but yeah, I'm gonna say if it's like really close, I'd give the goal personally in favour of the attacker. Yeah.
So where would you draw on the line then? Where would you say this counts as a goal, this doesn't?
Yeah. I know, like probably a yard. I'd go for a yard, yeah. I think, yeah, a yard's about a decent amount, yeah.
So you think...
I know, but then this... Sorry, yeah.
So do you think they should change the offside rule to be within a yard and it counts?
Yeah. I would be for that. I think with VAR coming in, you're going to need to look at all rules, because the rules were created 150 odd years ago, and then you need to keep them up to date with the new technology. So I think the offside rule will be definitely one they need to go and reform perhaps going to look at. Yeah.
But even if they changed it to, let's say, if it's within a yard, then it counts. Let's say it was 1 yard and an extra millimetre or something. Then does that count? And you're off. You're still off by like an armpit. If you see what I mean. Do you think that should? Do you think you get the same issue if you did that?
Yeah, and it's a tough one because if you go to like a yard and a millimetre or whatever, then the only way it's going to decide that is VAR, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to say a yard and a millimetre is offside.
Well, yeah.
Again, like I say though, it's one of them, like VAR is such a 50-50 thing, so it's quite hard to argue definitely for or against it in my opinion. It's a tricky one, yeah.
So you said at the top of the show, you said it's because of the delay. That's the worst part about it.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a bit of a passion killer? Do you think that's a bit of an issue for the fans?
Oh, definitely. Obviously, I don't really watch that many Premier League games because, I can't really. But I remember watching the Women's World Cup one. And I remember, I think, like a 2-3 minute delay. I know they're in Premier League games. I just don't think you can really have that. Like, it is really sort of disrupting the flow of things and
disrupts the celebrations, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like fans are a bit cautious to celebrate now, which you don't want that. Like when you're feeling when you decide to score a goal or whatever, that is definitely the best part of a game for fan. And if you take that away, it's sort of ruining the football experience really, isn't it? So yeah.
But what do you not think of the City back to remember that City v Spurs game in the Champions League when that Sterling goal was ruled out offside? Imagine being a Spurs fan then. Obviously, I was supporting Spurs then instead of City. It's like for me, that's the argument against it. It's not necessarily a passion killer because one side will benefit. Even in the Liverpool v United game, you had when Liverpool's goals was ruled out, all the United fans they were celebrating. They were all sticking 2 fingers up at Liverpool fans, loving it. So it can't be fully a passion killer. It's a both sets of fans.
That's a very fair point.
But obviously, there just needs to be improvements to VAR. There should be more clarity. But for me, it just needs more time. Like they've implemented it over a couple of years. They probably should have got it into a better position by now. But to be fair, in the game tonight, actually, Leicester Southampton game, there's a red card for Bertrand, and they used VAR and they actually put it on the big screen. They put it on the big screen so everyone could see what the foul was, and that was after. See, that's a brilliant improvement. So that's what I'm saying. If you give it more time, then we'll get some improvements like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about reforming VAR because I don't think it's getting removed. So that's definitely one of the things. Put it on the big screen. And like in rugby, you can hear what the referee and the VAR room are saying. Yeah. That's definitely one that needs to be brought in as well. That'd be a big game changer, I think, for VAR.
So with VAR, obviously, I mean, for me, they get the offsides right. They seem to get the goals right when it's like handballs and that kind of stuff. But obviously, there is still like they're not really sure about penalties, about sometimes red cards because again they set the bar too high. But for me, if you take VAR out of the game, you still get the penalties up to the referee. You still leave the red cards up to the referee. The only difference is you don't get the accurate offsides. You don't get the goals ruled out accurately. So for me, taking VAR away, all that does is taking away the correct decisions it does bring. Because at the moment it's just leaving half the decisions to the ref, which you would do anyway. So for me, it wouldn't really benefit the game if you got rid of VAR completely.
I mean, it's a fair point, I suppose, but. I guess even you argue with the United-Liverpool game on Sunday, a couple of, like, the first goal, I think everyone can argue it was a foul build-up. I don't think you can argue against it. So you can, I suppose this could just be because obviously VAR has only not even been in for a year yet, so that's something we could iron out in the future. But I suppose even with VAR, there's always going to be inconsistencies to the law. Or to what should really be given and not given. So
yeah, that's the thing. There is still drama created by VAR, as you saw in the Liverpool game. The goals ruled out. I mean, I think it's a clear and obvious foul, but they don't overturn it. So I mean, there are still issues with it, but I think the rules are right. I think having VAR in the Premier League is right. It's just the implementation at times and how clear it is, how fast it is. But all that will come with time. So I think that it is a positive. I think in the future VAR will help the Premier League. Obviously, there's still controversy around it now, but it should be decent for the future.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Right. Well, thanks for coming on. Interesting debate. Yeah. I'd like to see what everyone thinks in the comments down below. So if you've enjoyed it, please leave a like. Please,
controversial one. Yeah.
yeah. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to JFG 17's channel as well. Yeah, leave a comment down below where you stand on VAR. Until next time, adios.